Welcome, everybody, to Blockbuster Mentality, the show where we dive deep into the world of cinema. I'm your host, Ben Secord. Today, Dave and I welcome once again Matthew Secord as a guest on the show as we dive deep into The Force Awakens from 2015. The IMDb synopsis for the film reads, 3 decades after the Empire's defeat, a new threat arises in the militant First Order. Stormtrooper defector Finn and spare parts scavenger Rey are caught up in the Resistance search for the missing Luke Skywalker. It is the end of our Star Wars series with this film. Definitely going to be controversial. It's going to be heated, but we're going to have a lot of fun with it. So sit back, relax, let's talk some Star Wars.
The Force Awakens brought Star Wars back to life. So after the prequels, George Lucas said he was never going to make another one, right? So Disney swoops in and buys the series. So here we are with a brand new movie directed by J.J. Abrams. I've got a lot of problems with this movie, but I'm still excited to talk about it. Ben, are you ready to get into The Force Awakens?
I'm ready. Man, I didn't think you would be this excited to talk about it.
I am. I mean, it's not, I love Star Wars. So even if I've got problems, just take it. It's almost like a family criticism, right? You're like, my Uncle Ned, he's got a stupid nose, but I love him,
Again, I mean, even the prequels are stupid. I agree, but I still enjoy them. Yeah. I still enjoy that it's Star Wars.
I'm just not afraid to pull any punches here. And I know, I'm here against two brothers who are both, Star Wars lovers as well.
They're strong in the Force.
They're strong in the Force. They love this movie. I've got my issues, and we'll try not to make it a big thing here and throw bottles at each other or anything.
Well, are you excited, Matt?
I'm beyond excited.
Okay, so let's talk about the directing and the casting and the performances, things like that. So this is a movie that's directed by J.J. Abrams. So this happened after Disney was sold, or Disney was sold. Lucasfilm was sold to Disney. What was it, $2 billion, $4 billion, something like that?
$4 billion.
Basically, all went to George Lucas. He sold Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
Disney bought it. And
they
then
backed up with a truckload of cash.
Yeah,
and then he quickly
they even
changed his mind.
videotaped him signing the contract.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it was big.
Yep.
Yeah.
They even announced that there's going to be a whole new trilogy, and then even not too long after that, they announced the original cast was going to be back, which was so exciting.
Yeah.
And I was in Disney when it happened. I was at Epcot, and they went nuts.
Oh, that's awesome. That is great. And honestly, I mean, even when the acquisition happened, I was excited, but at the same time, when they announced that there was a new trilogy, I guess I wasn't that excited until we started seeing previews. I didn't really get excited for this movie until maybe 3 months out or something like that.
I was kind of the opposite. I was thrilled at the news.
Yeah.
And then my expectations went further. The more I heard about it, the more I didn't like it. Because I think I said before, I wanted a new story. I was ready to move on from these characters. I think it was told well. I think it was wrapped up. And I know there's the nostalgia angle, but I think we're dealing with these issues of how do we transition from these characters that we know and love to these other characters that are new, and it makes it difficult. And the waters are very muddied in The Last Jedi, which we talk about. So I think they could have avoided this by just starting a whole new trilogy, either from a period much later or even from a period far before. So that was kind of my take. That was my opinion, Matt.
My opinion was it was perfection.
It was the movie or just the
both.
Yeah,
okay. I loved that they continued the Skywalker saga, and then when the movie came out, I was blown away.
Yeah. I think also
it brought back my love for Star Wars. Because
yeah, exactly.
The prequels, I mean, I love them, of course, because I'm a Star Wars nut, but I got married and everything, and then just my Star Wars intake just kind of died. I'd watch them once in a while.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's
right.
kind of.
It just
Star Wars fandom kind of fizzled out.
It just brought it all back in 1,000 times.
Yeah. Well, I think Luke Skywalker is the only one that I would have wanted to see again. He was the only one worthwhile because you're going so far forward. Leia and Han. I don't think they'd really look good in this movie. They look like old people.
Yeah,
but they were.
They're
30 years older.
They are. So they're.
I'm only 34.
Harrison Ford is in his 70s. And Carrie Fisher's how old? To me, they're struggling in this movie. Well, I don't know however old she was when she passed, right? She's in
I think she was exactly 60.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yes, yeah.
Really?
She was born in 56 and died in 2016.
Wow.
Yeah.
She looked
she was
much
60.
older than that.
Well, even her voice and stuff, but it's all the coke. It's all the coke.
That's what does it for you.
Yeah, definitely. But I actually was excited. I was more excited about Han Solo. Han Solo has always been my favorite character. And even Han Solo, even Harrison Ford, anything that comes out, even if it's terrible, I'm still excited when he has a movie coming out.
Yeah, I'll still watch. I didn't mind the J.J. Abrams news. I'm not a Lost fan. And I'm not a fan of the J.J. Abrams mystery box whole thing, but he did Star Trek well, I thought, and I'm on that side, and I know there's those that hate it, and but I thought he did a pretty good reboot here, so I had some faith, and he did at least the job of let's get away from the prequels and let's bring it back to the things that worked in the original trilogy, and I'll give him credit for that.
Right, I hate Star Trek. Like I thought, I love Star Wars, so I have to be a Star Wars only.
Okay.
But when J.J. Abrams made that original Star Trek, I forget what it was called, but I loved that movie.
All the Chris Pine. Yeah.
So as soon as I heard J.J. Abrams,
was just
I was
called
like,
Star Trek.
Right. As soon as I heard J.J. Abrams, I was beyond excited.
Yeah.
Actually, the only other J.J. Abrams movie or whatever I've seen before Force Awakens was probably Regarding Henry. Starring
that was
Harrison
him?
Ford. He wrote it.
I didn't know
he
that.
wrote it. I've never seen Lost. I've never seen any of the Star Trek
Not even
movies.
the Super 8?
I never saw Super 8.
That was a pretty good movie.
That was good.
It's kind of a Spielberg ripoff.
I'm trying to think what else he's done, but
He wrote Regarding Henry. Was he like
Alias?
like 20 years old?
yeah, roughly. I mean,
about-
he's. I guess his dad's a producer and his mom's a producer. So
there you go.
Not even
there you go.
Alias?
Not Alias. No. I mean, I've probably seen bits and pieces.
I never-
I've seen episodes
You
of
were like
Lost.
12 years old for Alias.
Yeah, I've seen episodes of Lost. I've seen episodes of Alias, but yeah, I've never been a big J.J. Abrams.
Lost is just a big cluster that never really
I heard it
tells
started
you
That
off
was-
great, but it just
Yeah.
kinda
That was the
made
one
it-
movie. That was the one show I was right about with my prediction.
What,
when that
with the
show
ending?
came out, I said they were in purgatory, and they basically were in purgatory. So
Only it takes you 9 years to find out that answer.
What? So they were dead the whole time?
yeah,
Yeah, but they sort of have to like get into a path to.
so they're basically in purgatory. They're
Yeah.
in this limbo.
Yeah.
And I said that in the first season, and I never watched another season, and I was right.
Hot shot.
I am the best.
Yeah.
But
Let's get back to Star Wars.
regarding Henry, so when
Yeah.
he loses his mind, Ajax. But J.J. Abrams, yes, I think he did a great job with this film. That I can't say anything. Ajax was in Regarding Henry.
Let's move on past that. Let's get into this movie.
Oh, so we're not going to do. I gave you an outline.
Well, no, no, but I'm saying let's not talk about Regarding Henry references. Let's get into
All right, so
Force Awakens. Now I got someone else to laugh at my joke, so this is great.
That's why I'm here.
You got to keep this in. So Daisy Ridley was cast as Rey, which again I wasn't, even after seeing the previews for it, I was just like, all right, we'll see. But after seeing this movie, I love Daisy Ridley. I think she did a phenomenal job as Rey. No matter how she was written or whatever, I think she is a great actress. I think she conveyed what she needed to convey and everything like that. So I dug Daisy Ridley in this movie. How'd you feel, Matt?
Exactly. I dug her. I loved the acting. I loved everything about her. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I had no idea what to expect, but I dug her. Now, you could take that whatever way you would like.
I got one idea.
Dave?
I didn't know her. I
didn't know her.
No one did. This was actually her
thought.
first movie.
Yeah,
Really?
I don't think it's a great character. I don't think she does a particularly good job until the last 2 minutes. I'll just
Which
leave it
is
at
just facial expressions.
that. but good. I mean, she's straining. She's like, you see everything how that character got to where she got, and she's like, look, man, take this, please,
Yeah.
and that's awesome. But I don't blame it necessarily on her acting. I think the writing is really just ham-handed and over the top on a lot of things. And we'll get into that. One of them is don't grab my hand. I mean, how many times did you say that? Like 3 times?
Well, that was just part
It's
of the
dude,
like.
just like,
That was
okay.
part of
The
the chemistry between the characters.
There's no
and the-
chemistry. He's a
That was similar to
he's
Han-
failing in
Han and Leia.
Yeah, Han and Leia, like, let go of me. Like, he's like,
Oh, really?
I'm,
We've got
I'm nice, man.
You scruffy
I'm
nerf.
I'm not
herder.
saying. I'm just saying like that happened in Star Wars before, so I don't know why that was so far
because
fetched.
it comes off bad. I mean, Han and Leia, those two had a real chemistry on screen, which shows up even when they're 70 years old, showing up.
Which we found out that they had a chemistry. off
Exactly.
screen, too.
Well, so it's real. I mean, these two characters do not interact well on
I
screen.
totally disagree with that. I thought they had great chemistry. I love that interaction. Actually, I love that part when she says,
How many times does
"Stop
she need,
grabbing my
she says
hand."
it, she says it 3 times.
Exactly.
Do I need to
How
hear
many
it?
times does C-3PO repeat himself? How many times do they
a
say,
robot.
"I've got a bad feeling about this"? Oh, okay. So
But
robots.
hey,
Okay.
Yeah, bad feeling about that. Never mind.
Well, it's a callback to something. I mean, it's just like it happens within a span of like, it's the same action scene.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't like it, so I mean that's fine. That's
I'm trying not to dwell, so I will
Okay.
just. I think John Boyega. Can I move on to him? Maybe.
why didn't I put him in the notes?
He's not even in the notes.
Sorry, guys.
I think he's a good actor. I think he's okay, and I think again, it's not even a cast or a case of the actors. I think they're just not doing it properly.
Wait, wouldn't that be the actors though? You mean the
writing? The
Oh,
writing
The
and
writing was
direction.
what Larry Kasdan.
Yeah, Lawrence Kasdan.
Lawrence
Yeah, which
Kasdan,
wrote
sorry.
Empire.
Yeah, he's a good writer. I don't
Yeah.
know, but I felt like
I was excited about that.
well, he does this thing where he looks at BB-8 and he's like, "Droid, please." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, that
like-
was silly. Yeah,
and he's
I
like,
mean,
"I'm
when-
kind of a big deal," and like, dude, you're not a big deal because I don't know. It was so repetitive and I think he's actually a good actor. I like him. I think he's good on screen, but I don't know. I felt like there's a thing. Well, we'll get into it. I think he's a good actor. I'm not crazy about the character. That's so.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Finn a lot better than I thought I would. Matt,
Exactly. I have nothing.
I dug him. I really dug
I
him.
studied these characters on our script.
Oh yeah, we don't have.
And you have
listed.
Oscar Isaac, Lupita Nyong'o.
See, this is the benefit of actually taking notes. 'cause
No,
you can
like
further-
I took notes.
I've
Oscar
been
Isaac,
studying this movie for years.
Oscar Isaac, Lupita Nyong'o, and
All good.
Andy Serkis. What's
So we got Adam Driver.
Oh, and Adam Driver.
Oh, Adam Driver. Yeah, Adam Driver is Kylo
Let's
Ren.
get
I
into
thought was
Kylo.
outstanding.
Adam
Kylo
Driver.
Ren, such a this is what Anakin in the prequel should have been. If they would have if an actor like Adam Driver was cast as Anakin,
He's a
I
really
think
good
this-
actor.
I think this movie could have been so much more. Just the choices he made. He's got such a unique way of speaking. Especially once he takes off
Yeah.
his mask, like just his facial expressions and just again the unique way of speaking. I think really makes this character stand out for me.
He's good, but he's a bit emo. And
He was emo. I will give you that.
and he doesn't look like
But-
the
but-
son of Harrison
Yeah.
Ford and Carrie Fisher.
No,
Well,
those
no.
the ears.
The ears and the nose and just the face.
I mean, whatever.
I
That's
would've
just everything, you know.
That's nitpicky.
Well, I don't think so. Harrison Ford is a beautiful man.
Harrison Ford is like
Does Luke look like anything like
Luke is not a good-looking guy.
No, does he?
Harrison
but does-
Ford was the good-looking
Oh yeah,
guy.
Harrison Ford. But does Luke look anything like Natalie Portman and Hayden Christensen?
Well, that was backcasting, so that
No, it's not.
Oh,
yeah, well,
no,
you
they should have done it right.
Yeah, they
They
should have
should've
said,
made
"Oh, who looks like Luke?"
strange looking people. Yeah.
But anyways, Adam Driver to me,
I think
was-
Adam
I think
Driver.
he
was
did an
great.
excellent job for the character he was.
I agree. He's good. He's a great actor. And he, other than the emo stuff, yeah.
But I loved that. Though, where he just
the
started
emo stuff
beating-
is great because again, Anakin had emo stuff. Again, if that was what,
Well, that was bad. I mean, it was
I know
bad on
that's-
screen.
But he was emo.
I mean, just because it happened, that doesn't make it okay.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the emo stuff, because of the acting caliber that is Adam Driver, I think it worked. Whereas they could have written those same scenes for Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
It just
No, it was
didn't work.
better this time.
Yeah, the emo scenes for Hayden Christensen would have been so much better with Adam Driver, is what I'm saying.
But why can't it just be a simple "Ruh!" and just do something and then move on? Not this like.
Well, he was
It's like-
making noise.
Well, he was
just
screaming.
lightsaber.
He was screaming something when he's doing that, guards or whatever. He's like yelling something.
I love that when the stormtroopers kind of back away.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this film.
We skipped Oscar Isaac, Lupita.
Oh, I mentioned them, but
Okay.
if you guys have anything to say
let's get
about
into this
Oscar
one.
Isaac, Lupita Nyong'o, or Andy Serkis?
No.
Lupita Nyong'o. I mean, it's just in a voice role here, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, motion capture.
but good.
Yeah, but that was...
Oscar Isaac is a good actor. You see Inside Llewellyn Davis. He was great.
Oh, I
in
love that movie. Yeah, that's great.
And sometimes he feels almost out of place in this trilogy, but also he's just so good. He makes it work. So
Yeah, I liked him way better in Last Jedi, but yeah, this movie, yeah, I mean, it was fine.
I like the way he gets his intro in this film, which this is our first of the
Take 6.
Yep. So yeah, our pick six.
Pick six.
Sorry, I noted that wrong in our little outline here. Our pick 6, where we give our 6 favorite moments of the film that Dave hates. Our 6 favorite moments, and our number
Not
one.
everyone's perfect.
Our number 1 is the introduction of Kylo Ren, which obviously involves Poe Dameron, which is Oscar Isaac's character.
Yeah. So I love... one thing I really like is we see the stormtroopers in this like cargo ship thing, and the lighting is like blinking, and like this it feels like a war scene from any point in time, but just in a Star Wars universe. I love that.
Yeah,
and the way
awesome.
they land and come out, that is so cool. And then we see Poe with was it Chris Plummer?
Yeah, he was Max von Sydow.
Okay. Well, this is so okay. I do have a question here. Who is this guy? Are we?
That's the problem.
Like,
he has no backstory.
Again, this is not something. This is something that people should know. You should not have to find. I mean, I read the books, I read the comics. You should not have to find it out.
He's
that
a
way, though.
friend of
Exactly.
Right.
He's someone who is kind of like a Maz character who knows the Force. He studies the religion of the Force,
Right, so
or whatever. He's big
Princess
into
Leia
that,
is-
but he's not a Jedi per se.
Princess Leia is royalty, as he says.
Which I think was a cool line.
This
I love
reminds
that.
me. This reminds me of something that was done wrong in the prequels, which I kind of I touched on when I was watching the Clone Wars animated series, which you recommended.
Right.
There's I think it's in Attack of the Clones. I just want to quickly digress and just to prove your point. It's what's his name, Master Sifo-Dyas.
Sifo-Dyas.
Okay,
The Clone
so
Wars.
much of the plot hinges on this master who gets captured and killed, who's creating the droid army. We never see the guy.
Yeah.
Now, if you started the movie telling us who this guy is, and then just quickly seeing his capture, and then it could have been 2 minutes, and then we would understand the movie. Now we're hearing about a Sifo what? Who?
In Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
yeah,
like-
exactly.
That's
yeah.
why
It
Attack
just
of the Clones is
screws
my
up the
worst
plot
Star
so much. So here we get a guy who's pivotal, who what's his name again?
Lor Senteca.
Right, he's a friend of the Force. He's maybe an old rebel
We don't even-
ally, something like that. We don't even know that much about him. It really would be nice to know just something, right? Give me like
Yeah.
30 more seconds of dialogue where he says, I know somebody from this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's just so you just know it's okay. It's this old guy who has the map to Luke Skywalker, apparently.
Right.
Well, and I love the first line though, because it's "This will begin to make things right."
Yeah.
which is kind of a jab at the prequels in a way, because it's the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
line of these new Star Wars
Yeah.
films. It's like, all right, we're gonna fix things
Well,
here.
there's a lot of stuff in these movies that are talking directly to the audience. So that's
Yeah.
one of them for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But anyways, our first is the introduction of Kylo. So I mean,
yeah.
they're looking for the map to Luke Skywalker as well, and then you get Kylo Ren, who comes off his ship with that great, which the music I grew to love. I didn't like it at first, Kylo's theme, but I did, grow
Me
to
too.
like
I
it.
liked it. Yeah.
But yeah, he gets off the ship. He gets to Lor Senteca. He says, "Where's the map?" And he even says like, I knew you before you were Kylo Ren," things like that. Basically, Kylo kills him.
He does.
That's
Boom.
yeah. It's just like, okay, this character
guy's
means
real.
business.
Yeah, and then Poe shoots him on a black. He was trying to escape, but
Yes.
his X-wing gets blown up. We see the intro of BB-8, which we'll talk a little bit more about how awesome he is. Poe shoots him with a blaster.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren catches the blaster bolt
yeah.
and
just leaves it there.
holds
And I love the
it.
sound.
Yeah.
the sound design. Just
It's
amazing.
and the thing like sort of flickering and
Yeah.
just hanging in the air. We've never seen anything
Yeah.
like that before.
That's great.
That
you
is
see
so
the
cool.
power of this guy, and
Yeah.
like how Poe walks by it. And
Love
you
that.
Still see it there. He's just kind of looking at it like,
He
what?
looks at it. Whoa.
Yeah. But yeah, then you get the first like more lighthearted moment. Like they bring Kylo or Poe to Kylo, and he's like they're looking at each other. Kylo's got the mask on. He's like, So who talks first? You talk first. I talk first. You talk first. I thought that was a subtle little. That wasn't like over the top or anything. I think that was a good moment. Dave doesn't like it.
I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it as well. But yeah, and then Kylo tells them to bring him on, and then you get introduction to the pointless Captain Phasma, which we didn't even talk about in Last Jedi
because it doesn't
pointless.
matter.
Exactly. She said, "What should we do with the villagers?" And Kylo says, "Kill them all."
Right.
It's like, whoa,
Kylo is
right. Kylo,
This guy means business.
mean business.
So they shoot everybody, and then we see the one
But he says
stormtrooper who will not.
Yeah, will not. Yep, because his friend dies in battle, and then he rubs blood on his face, so we know which stormtrooper it is at that point.
But here we get it, right? We don't need to see the going back to the guy who won't shoot, and then he's really conflicted, and he's looking back, and he's looking back, and then Kylo looks at him, and he's staring, and then he walks away. It's like, okay, we know he's conflicted, right?
Well, we see that
we know.
we see how Kylo is strong in the Force, and the fact that he stopped that bolt,
Yeah.
and then we see how he knows that Poe has seen the map or knows where the map is, so he just says, well, okay, we're just going to take him and we're going to leave.
Yeah,
Kill the rest. We're out of here.
Yeah.
So it just shows the strength that Kylo has, because we didn't know who this guy was. We didn't know. Well, we assumed he knew the Force, but as soon as we saw that,
That's
we knew
true,
who
yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy isn't to be messed with.
Definitely not. Yeah, he brings him out on the ship, and we see that power he has by like reading his mind. He like enters Oscar Isaac's mind, Poe's mind, which is unique. They're kind of almost expanding the Force in this movie too, which we talked about in Last Jedi.
Yeah,
was just how he was able to kind of interrogate and kind of just see what was in Poe's mind and things. I thought that was awesome. Just the sound design when he's taking what he needs out of Poe's mind and finds out that the map is in a BB unit.
Poe puts up a good fight too.
Yeah,
he does.
Definitely.
He literally breaks into his mind, right?
Yeah,
he's resisting heavily and trying, and it's just like you said, it's a new element of the Force. So it's nice. I thought this was a well done scene. There was a lot of tension, and
right.
It really would suck to have that happen.
I know, right? So our next moment, we get introduced to Rey. She's obviously on this desert planet. She's a scavenger, obviously. She's when we first meet her, she's going through an old Star Destroyer that's crashed down onto Jakku.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah,
we
it's
see the
very
scale
cool.
of
Yeah,
this thing,
I know.
right? She's like climbing and like scaling up and down this huge thing. So there was a battle of Jakku.
Yep.
When did that take place?
That was like
2 years after Jedi.
2 years after Jedi. There you go. It's brought up in the Battlefront game, which they expand on in Battlefront 2, which is it's really cool. But yeah, 2 years after Jedi, because when the Empire is destroyed in Return of the Jedi, naturally, they destroyed the Emperor, but they also destroyed the Death Star. But there's still going to be the Empire around. That's not all the Empire, so it's cool that they kind of go deeper into that. Like the war's not over completely yet, so they just kind of expand on that in Battlefront and things like that.
So they have this big battle, and Jakku's pretty much the end of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like this. This is a bit of world building here, right? Because it
Right.
gives you some history of a place, and you see the scale of this thing, right? She's just salvaging parts,
Right, yeah.
and she's just living like a basic subsistence existence, right? She's just cashing in stuff to hopefully get some ration.
She lives in an AT-AT.
Yeah.
Which is
how
cool.
cool is that?
Yeah.
I think the first time I saw this, I missed that.
Oh, really?
I thought she was like, I saw it, but I'm like, oh, and then I saw it again. I'm like, oh man, she's living in that thing. It's like on the ground.
lives
Yeah.
in it.
Oh, so here we have a young person living on a desert planet. We've seen this before.
Yeah.
But one thing I like when she doesn't really get enough. She gets screwed over by, I forget the guy's name.
Unkar Plot.
Okay, wow, thank you, nerd.
Unkar Plot. Which is actually Simon Pegg.
Really?
Yeah.
That was he had just had a big prosthetic over his head.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I like this though because she eats. She's hungry all the time. I get this sense, right? She's just scarfing down her food.
Yeah.
She's like an animal almost in a way. She lives in this place. She goes out. She gets these parts. She tries to get enough. Basically, it's not a salary. It's just enough to live.
Right, yeah.
And it's never really enough.
What you're getting for pay is food. Portions, what they call it.
Yeah.
A quarter portion.
So she's had to fend for herself
Right.
basically her whole life since her childhood.
And I like
so
this.
She's also obviously had to build strength and stuff.
Yeah, of course. I get that, and she's sort of like being playful. She puts the X-wing fighter helmet on her on her head. She's kind of looking around.
She's kind of dreaming of what what could be, and just
This is nice.
Kind of Luke with the
Just
binary
like
sun.
Luke.
just like Luke,
Just like our good pal Luke.
Force sensitive, very strong person living on a desert planet.
Yep. Which I
Who
hate.
runs
I mean,
into
I don't
a-
hate people, but I hate when people bring up about Force Awakens Force Awakens is a rehash of A New Hope. Well, obviously it's going to have the similar things. You got to reintroduce people. You're reintroducing a new generation, really.
Could have had grass.
Every
to this
generation
movie.
has its
Why do you
story.
need grass?
Why does it need to be another desert planet?
Why not?
Because
it's fun. It's
fun.
It's cool.
It's because okay.
And because Abu Dhabi costs less money.
Is that where they filmed?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So money wise,
Yeah, Disney needs to pinch pennies.
yeah, they really do.
Yeah, with
They
$4
really
billion
do.
check, they
But,
wrote George Lucas that fast.
Yeah, I mean, why it needs to be desert? Why it needs to be desert planet again? I don't know, but yeah, I mean,
Every generation has a story. That was one of the taglines.
every generation has a story.
But here's where we meet, and shortly after she meets BB-8.
yeah, she meets BB-8, and then they realize that the First Order is going after them.
But
and
how
that's-
cool is BB-8?
Amazing.
So you like BB-8?
I love BB-8.
I loved BB-8.
I mean, I know he's just a new R2 that's orange that rolls.
Yeah.
But here's another one where, and I know J.J. Abrams didn't want to do CGI on this where they could have. Here's another practical effect.
It was.
To have him on a roller.
Yeah, I know.
And I think there's maybe some things where he's like going really fast. It's
Right,
probably
yeah,
CGI, and maybe when he's bouncing around in the Falcon or whatever. But it's a real thing, and he
Right.
looks real. I had to just check it out. I'm like, is he CGI or not?
No, he was.
And he is real because you need that. This is the problem with the prequels because it's George Lucas with Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor on a green screen in a
Yeah.
set talking to one another, and there's supposed to be three guys around them, and that's why the acting was terrible. So here you need to interact with physical things.
That's not why.
Well, part of
that,
it.
That could be
I mean,
part
that's-
of it. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that's a major. The actors can't relate to their environment. I mean,
Right.
of course, the writing is bad, but if you can't. The writing is what it is, but you can make the best of bad writing with good acting, and they couldn't even do that because their situation was terrible.
Yeah,
No,
BB-8
definitely.
was always there on scene with them.
It's great.
Yeah,
It was
that's
awesome. We're on
Yeah.
set.
Yeah, I like BB-8 a lot, and then it kind of leads to our number 2, which is finding the Falcon.
I
and
loved this.
Chewie, we're home. So yeah, I love the introduction of the Falcon. So she runs into Finn eventually because Finn crash landed with Poe because he is defecting from the First Order. Because
I
he
did not
doesn't-
like the two of them interacting.
that
for
actually
10
when I
minutes,
watched it again
and-
for the show, I was like, "Good to meet you too, Finn." Like it was just,
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
That's true.
Yeah, it was a little.
We'll give you
little
that,
off.
Dave.
A little off.
Thank you for
Score 1 for Dave.
yeah, one bit.
Um,
And in this one, it kind of drags, right?
what?
Well, them meeting. I mean, they're running from place to place. And
Yeah,
doing
well, I
this
mean,
and
they're in the Finn and Ray meeting.
that. This whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like this whole sequence. And
he's dunking his head in that water.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, again, Star Wars is for kids, Dave. I mean, or at least you got to put some elements in there
Families.
for kids, for families. So I mean, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
There's only one thing about the movie I didn't like.
Oh, well, let's just talk about it. What did
Let's
you
get
like?
it out in the open here.
Rathars.
Yeah, Rathars.
That was terrible.
I mean, that's
the whole Indiana Jones callback with him running with the wall.
Yeah.
Running.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true,
the CGI was all iffy with there, but I like
Anyways,
the
let's get back to
introduction.
it,
So
yes.
yeah, I mean they're running from the First
That's
Order.
pretty
Her
minor,
and
though.
I know,
That's-
but
her and Finn.
you're going to see my score later.
Her and Finn are running from the First Order. Dave. She's a Mary Sue. They're running from the First Order.
She is.
No, she's not.
She
absolutely
absolutely
not.
is.
100% not. If she's a Mary Sue, then so is Luke, and so is Anakin.
Luke has to go through far more difficulty.
She is looking for. Luke
Okay.
grew up on a farm with parents. She's grown up since she was a little tiny kid, all on her own.
get portions.
She's been looking for her family. She's been going through this mental ordeal.
Remember they
you're
show
not,
it?
You're not seeing that point.
She scratches every day.
Yeah, scratching every day. She's living alone in an AT-AT.
So who is she
What
to
point
be
of
pulled out of
easy-
this place to just show up and start fighting a a Sith. I mean, that's just absurd.
Well,
Luke,
who is Luke to blow up a Death Star?
He closed his eyes and made a shot. It was a lucky shot. I mean, that's just all it was.
All right,
but it's not like he fought.
So you don't like Star Wars?
No. But we call it what it is.
Eyes and that was it.
He believed in the Force and just shot the torpedoes.
Oh, okay, so
Let's get out of here, kid.
He didn't fight Darth Vader in the first movie into a stalemate. I mean, when he meets Darth Vader after extensive training on Dagobah, he gets his ass kicked. I mean, what do you guys? I mean, that's not even close.
He doesn't get his ass kicked.
Only his arm chopped off, and he basically commits suicide down into abyss.
Again, is Darth Vader as powerful as Kylo Ren?
Darth Vader. What do you mean? Yeah, of course.
A wounded Kylo Ren?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, is Kylo Ren as powerful as Darth Vader?
Didn't you see him punching his hip?
If you don't put Kylo Ren being injured by that bullet into effect into
Vader
your reasoning, I don't know what to tell you.
Because they showed it multiple times. That bowcaster is stronger than we ever knew. Han's like, oh man, if I knew that.
So here's another thing. These two have known each other for 40 years,
and Han
never shot the.
Nope.
Oh, nope. That's nitpicky. All right,
well, come on.
An audience has never seen that. An audience has never seen that, so they gotta do it.
They find the Falcon. That's one of my favorite parts of the movie is when they find the Falcon. Can we please talk about that?
Yes, please.
Matt doesn't like confrontation.
No,
I back away.
It's not productive, but I just want to make my point.
I want to make my point too. I want to make my point that she's not a Mary Sue. That she does go through things. That you can, if you're gonna have complaints about Rey, you got to have those same complaints about Luke and Anakin and everything like that. But yeah, when she finds the Falcon,
I got
she
plenty of
runs
complaints
off.
about Anakin.
Well,
Luke,
you have complaints about Anakin because of the prequels and the execution
it was
of it
still
and the
way
acting
too easy
and
for
everything
him.
like that.
Luke went through a lot of junk.
Like what?
What do you mean, like what?
What
of junk did he go through?
Hello, Empire Strikes Back, and still the Jedi. I mean,
that was the second movie.
His dad.
The second movie.
The first movie was never intended to be anything more than what it was, which was a nice popcorn movie. And
the Force
he never faced really anyone other than just he's a good pilot. And then he learned about this thing called the Force from this nice old man that helped him out.
And then he closed his eyes, and it was a lucky shot.
I mean, it was. I mean, it was just it was nothing more complicated in that movie. That was a standalone movie. That's all it was. If we're gonna make it bigger than that, then yeah. I mean, the next movie was he's got to become more powerful than that. And he went through hell and learning that it's your freaking dad and he wants to kill you or convert you. I mean, my goodness, does it get worse than that? I don't think so.
I mean, obviously, it's a more powerful story than this. I'm not saying
how long was he on Dagobah? 2 months? I mean, Rey gets like, I'm just going to hand
me a lightsaber. He was on Dagobah for 10 minutes. That's how long the film.
Yeah, exactly.
You give Rey a lightsaber and she'll just battle a Sith.
Yeah, because she's never fought with the staff before. But yeah, staff is not the same as a lightsaber.
Staff is nothing.
That's not the same as a lightsaber. It's not swinging a long vertical object. But yeah, when she finds the Falcon and they're running,
Let's go over this scene because I love it.
Hang on, just if I could, just for 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, who is Finn to really? That's true. Who's Finn to be holding a lightsaber?
That scene with the traitor? Right there, when it was the traitor scene with the lightsaber, you see that they have training in that kind of combat.
Right, yeah.
So
that comes from the books.
Yeah, Finn, if you watch this movie...
There's no book in the movie.
In the movie...
but that's where that comes from.
No, in the movie, they fight with a lightsaber and the staff thing. That
they fight with
a stormtrooper or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the stormtrooper that says traitor.
Yeah.
They're fighting like that. So he has training in that sort of combat, obviously.
We haven't seen that in the movie before.
But we saw it at that scene.
Well, it's the...
Well, you were just saying though how did Finn, do what he did against Kylo?
Yeah, because Kylo should just be able to go like this and then push him against the tree.
Well, that's what he did against Rey.
Kylo was too busy fixing his wound.
Kylo did that to Rey. He did that to Rey.
He threw her into a tree and knocked her out.
No. We're not going to move on because
he knocked her
you
out.
had to bring up your point. Now I'm.
There's no reason why Finn should even be able to compete with him. And
again, first of all, wounded. Second of all, he has combat. And second of all,
third of all, Finn almost dies from
if you watch
the crap out of Kylo.
He shouldn't have even been able to withstand any of the blows he did.
If you watch that scene again, Finn got his ass kicked against Kylo. He got his ass kicked. Yeah, he blocked a couple of shots from Kylo's lightsaber.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about the stormtrooper thing. I mean, they have this thing, whatever it's made out of.
No, I'm saying that's why Finn was able to at least be able to somewhat
block
fight against
2 shots,
Kylo.
but then he almost gets killed.
Yeah,
it shouldn't have even he should have had his head chopped off immediately. You could chop off Kylo Ren's leg, and he could kill any of that. He should be able to kill any of them.
Well.
I would hope. Otherwise, he's just
Okay, well,
I still want to talk
then
about...
Vader should have been able to do the exact same thing to Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes
But he
Back.
didn't want to hurt him.
Exactly.
But he didn't. For as far as we know, he didn't know it was his son
He coulda-
until the
he-
emperor said, "This is my son."
First of all, Dave, this is
that
a
he has
movie,
son.
so you have to build up. You have to build up drama and action. You got to have action in this popcorn movie. So I mean, that's why they had that little scene with Finn, and then that's why they had to build up where Rey grabs the lightsaber from the snow.
Let's go to Matt's.
Yeah. What's our number 2 in our pick 6?
Finding the freaking Falcon.
Yes. So yeah, they're running through.
Yes, they're running by, and he goes, "What about this ship? That ship's garbage."
Yeah.
And they run by, and then the ship gets blown up
That
they're
they were running to, yep.
And then she goes, "Oh, the garbage will do."
Yep, the
which
garbage will do.
I loved, and then you realize it's the Falcon, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
brought
Which
back
Under
everything.
a tarp or whatever. And it's
But
like,
the cool thing is, every time the Falcon's shown, they're like, "Oh, that heap of junk or that garbage." You know, they always call it that. So to me, that was just.
Yeah, it was an awesome callback.
I knew in the previews that the Falcon was coming back, but I didn't know when it was coming back. And the fact that it came back then, I didn't know that Han Solo didn't have the Falcon. So to me, that was just
that was cool.
That was
That
awesome.
was a cool moment because it was a total surprise and everything.
trying to fly it. It's like falling on the
Right.
ground. It's like
Yeah.
bowling through buildings.
Yeah,
And
there's
I
the
like
gun.
how they fly through the Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
It's such a cool shot where they do that fast zoom behind the Falcon. But yeah, they get away and they're in space, and then they get captured by this other ship, which I thought when I first saw it, I was like, oh man, the First Order got them already. It's like, man, that's
Well,
crazy.
that's what Finn said.
Yeah, he said it's the First Order.
Right.
But then, you hear this like rumbling around. They show the door, and who is it? Han Solo and
And that's
Chewbacca.
I was at one of the first showings, and the crowd went nuts.
Yes.
Chewie, we're home.
Chewie, yeah, and that's what he says, Chewie.
Just
we're
Chewie,
home.
we're home. I mean,
All right, big deal. But yeah, I think that's great because they showed that in the trailer, which you usually don't
We
get
knew it.
excited for something that's in the. You usually don't get excited for that excited for something that was also in the trailer, but when that happened in the movie, it was just so exciting because it's just like, oh wow,
you ever
Star
see
Wars is officially back. Yeah. We're seeing an old character that we have not seen, in years, back in a Star Wars movie. It just brought back the feels and everything like that. So I thought it was a great scene. I mean, the scenes with the Rathtars that happened after that was a little silly, but
Yeah. And this is a Mary Sue moment by Rey. I mean, here she is. She's gonna. By mistake, she kills the bad guys. Basically,
not by mistake. She knew she was
I thought we
watching
were past
for them.
that.
Yeah,
I thought this was our pick 6. I thought that we were
Oh,
past
are
that.
we on this right here? By Chewie.
What, she kills the bad. Okay, so here's how she's not a Mary Sue. All this happened because of her. She opened the doors to let the Rathtars out.
But then it just kills all the bad guys. Okay,
it kills them, but then it
Obviously, the good guys eventually going to do everything you want it to do.
Well, no, but
Mary Sue.
she made the wrong decision, and then
the
it worked
definition
out.
of a Mary Sue. You ready?
She made the wrong decision.
Here's the definition
and
of a
it
Mary
paid
Sue.
off.
A Mary Sue is a female fan fiction character that is cloyingly perfect in every way. It stems from a character of the same name in a parody piece of Star Trek. In A Trekkie's Tale, the character Mary Sue is perfect in every conceivable way, even as a teenager. She commands the love and respect of Captain Kirk and intrigues Spock with her logical prowess, which she wins awards and dies a tragic death.
It's like
the
her
point
on
of
the
the story
Millennium
was to
Falcon.
spoof.
She knows the Millennium Falcon better than Han Solo.
There's two words that are bad.
Again,
about
she was
this.
a scavenger for years.
yeah, of course.
Luke lived on a farm with a father figure.
Two
He's
words.
not telling Han how to fix
Two words.
the Falcon.
Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek.
Boom.
Idiot. The point of the story was to spoof the worst tendencies of fan fiction writers to insert glorified, idealized versions of themselves into their fan fiction in unabashed acts of wish fulfillment. The character is Mary Sue because most fan fiction is written by women and inserts female characters into stories, but there's also a Gary Stu or Marty Stu male equivalent that nobody ever talks about.
That's not true. There is some of that with Luke. Yeah, in the first one definitely.
Yeah,
But
okay.
after that,
and there's some of that with Rey, but not completely.
all with Rey. I mean, nothing
No.
she does fails. I mean, at all.
What did Luke do that failed in the first movie? What did he do that
Oh,
failed?
nothing really.
Okay, so
he was
exactly
in
So
that
you-
movie. He was, but
no
the
right to complain.
character and the character Luke Skywalker was not a Gary Stu at all.
And Rey is not a Mary Stu at all either.
In this movie, she definitely is.
No, she's definitely
And in the
not.
next movie, again, she in The Last Jedi, she gets captured, and then just, Kylo Ren's, he's going to turn good. No, he's just going to kill Snoke for me so I can get away. Thanks.
Wow. Okay. Well, Han and
you
Chewie-
obviously weren't paying attention to The Force Awakens, but yeah, Han and Chewie show up. Did you like the moment where they showed
Did
up?
you like that?
Yeah, I like seeing him, and then Han Solo's just this pathetic guy who...
How is he a pathetic guy?
He's a general who defeated the Empire. He doesn't have at least somewhat of a cushy job running even his own smuggling operation. He's not like wealthy or anything. He's like
Because
always on the run.
it's all about money to you?
No, but
The
just,
whole thing with
he's not
Kylo-
comfortable at all.
Okay.
What is this?
The whole
At this
thing with
point,
Kylo,
at
yeah.
this point, we don't know that Kylo is his son. Maybe we do. I forget when.
No, we don't. When he first
because
yeah, we
Snoke
don't.
doesn't tell him yet.
Yep.
But anyways, Han Solo is a broken man. His only son, his only child, has completely turned against him. Is completely on the dark side. Basically second in command to the First Order, fighting against his mother. So Han Solo is a broken man. So he just took off and went and did his own
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. He even said that happened after. He even says that in the movie that after Kylo took off, that I went back to the only thing I was ever good at,
Right,
which is
smuggling.
what he's doing,
It's
smuggling.
just pathetic. I mean,
Well, you don't know what you're going to do with your firstborn, or your only son, or only
I
child.
hope mine doesn't turn into a Sith.
But yeah, I mean, I just love those moments, and then we get to our number 3, which is Rey's Force vision when she finds the lightsaber in Maz's castle.
That was cool.
I would have put this near the top. We
usually
I know
go
it's
in
what you're saying.
chronologically.
Good. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
chronologically.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, this
'Cause
is the next moment in the film that we
holy
love.
Toledo.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they even have callbacks. Yeah, so yeah, when she first touches the lightsaber, she's in that hallway that's in on Bespin that Luke's on, which is very cool. And then you get flashes of like Luke touching R2 with his hand.
R2, yeah, with the
And then you even get Kylo with
You hear
his,
Yoda
which
talking.
we find out is Knights of Ren. Yeah, you hear Yoda talking.
I'm waiting to see more about the Knights of
Yeah, I know. I thought we were going to get more of that in Last Jedi, which we didn't. But yeah, I mean, it's very cool. That's a cool aspect that, touching this lightsaber is giving you these visions, kind of similar to the visions we see with Luke, where he sees Darth Vader on Dagobah. So it kind of follows that mythology, so it makes it more plausible that this is happening. Just cool, and even Ewan McGregor filmed or recorded voices for. I think he says
These are your first steps.
These are your first steps.
Oh, really?
saying
I
that
don't
to
know.
Rey.
I can't speak in English accents. So.
These are your first steps.
I missed that
he
though.
whispers.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's at the very end. He says it.
Yes.
These are your first
It's really,
steps.
it's really quiet. It's almost like a whisper.
Huh. And then we get the information that we hear from that this lightsaber is calling out to you.
Yeah, calling
right.
out to
It's
you, yeah.
basically saying this is your destiny.
Which
Right.
is interesting to me because she goes, it was Anakin's and it called to Luke and now it calls to you.
Yeah.
So who is she?
This scene it seemed like to me when I first saw it, I was like, oh, okay, so she's Luke's daughter. Like that's what I could have swore
1,000%.
because she said the people you were waiting for on Jakku is not coming for you, but someone is waiting for you. And then Rey says Luke, and I was like, oh, they just confirmed that Luke's her dad, but. No. Then when I watched it again, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, obviously that's not what you meant. But yeah, it was just interesting way of wording it. But yeah, I love that whole scene. And then, she doesn't want anything to do with it, so she runs off. She wants to go to back Jakku to wait for her family, which basically leads, to our number 4. Obviously lots of stuff happens in between this. We see Admiral Akbar. We see Nien Nunb. We see a lot of people. We even get Han and Leia reuniting
Which
again.
C-3PO tried to break up.
Oh, I love that. That was just great. That was one of the... That was great. They're about to talk to each other, and C-3PO pops in. Oh, Master Solo! It's so good to see you.
It's a really nice moment between them two, and they still have that chemistry. And it's just so sad, right?
Yeah. No, it definitely is, yeah. Especially when you find out what's going to happen, because, Han... This is number 4. Han... It's gonna go bye-bye. This is the death of our childhood.
Harrison Ford has wanted this for years.
Yeah, he wanted this in Jedi. He wanted Han to die in Jedi, like a kind of like a sacrificial kind of.
I agree with him.
Yeah.
I think it would have been good if he had. Well, I don't know if he would have
himself.
died or just something, but I don't think he needed to be in this movie. But this was a really good scene. He goes basically to try to get his son back, right?
Right. And the way Kylo acts when he holds the lightsaber out is almost like, I feel the light, I feel the dark, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's almost
like,
to me, I felt like he meant like, Han, Dad, you need to kill me because I'm bad.
Yeah. Well, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I
Right.
have the strength to do it. I think this is the best acting performance right here by Adam Driver.
And I think the intent here in the audience is that you think that he needs to be good.
Yeah.
But instead he's like, he's thinking I need to kill you.
Yeah. I don't know if
thank you for helping me, which is, Han's like, I don't know what he says.
Yeah, he
like,
says, will you help me? And
then
then
I'll do
Han's
anything,
like,
anything for you or whatever.
Exactly.
He's like, I give myself, he basically said, in a sense, whatever you need, I'm here. I'll do whatever you want for you, which is sacrifice yourself as I kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
That was really what it was.
Yeah, such a
and
powerful
it's nuts.
moment.
I mean, you feel that conflict with Kylo, and we're dancing around it still, even in the next movie. But it sucks.
Yeah, and that's when you find out. Yeah,
it's just really sad.
It really is. Yeah, you find out his name is Ben Solo, which I like. I like that name. Ben, it's a good name.
Ben Kenobi.
Ben Kenobi.
His
name is. Your brother's name is Ben.
But when I told my parents to name him after Ben Kenobi.
You see that? You see that? But just a powerful moment. I just love the acting from Adam Driver here. Don't know if I have the strength to do it. And then when he kills him, he says thank you. It's like, man. But then Han Solo touches his face, which is like I thought was going to play into just his like torn like feelings.
Because you got nothing left here, right? You're like. And if he's going to feel bad about it, and it doesn't seem to, he seems to move past it, but he's still struggling.
Yeah.
He's a complicated character, which it makes him interesting, Kylo Ren. Even though he's emo and kind of annoying in some aspects, he is a compelling character.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's well done by Adam. I think Adam Driver probably puts on the best performance of all cast. In this film.
I would agree with that. And then Chewie shoots him with that very, very, very powerful rocket launcher.
I mean, it hits him right in the hip. So they're
right in the kidney.
Bowcaster right there. Boom,
right in the kidney.
Right where your organs
bleeding to
your
death.
Important
he
organs
can't fight after this.
No,
definitely not. Definitely
You're done.
But that brings us to our number 5, which is the Battle in the Snow / Star Killer base.
How cool is that Star Killer base? It's like a planet, like this ice planet carved
sucks the
out.
sun.
Yeah, sucks the sun.
Yeah, what a great concept of that. You just see it slowly, like you see this.
Which I never knew that they called each like star a sun. I never got that.
Yeah.
They're like, they got to take the power of a sun.
Star Killer's another callback because that's what Luke's name was going to be. Luke Star Killer.
Right. Yeah, Star Killer, and also Star Killer was in the video game Force Unleashed.
Oh, okay.
Which is not canon anymore. But
that.
Force Unleashed was the name of Darth Vader's.
Not canon anymore.
Well, it's not canon.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are legend now. Which are
legend. But anyways, Star Killer was the name of Darth Vader's apprentice in that game.
Yeah, I played that game.
You play as Star Killer.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's right.
So that's pretty cool that they named it for that.
What video games are canon? Are there any?
Just
Battlefront 1 and 2.
Yeah.
The new ones
So not Knights of the Old Republic.
No,
that's stupid.
But
no, I mean they can take from that. They can say, all right, it's.
The Corvette from Rogue One
is
a ship from
that
Knights of the Republic.
Huh.
So it could they could bring some stuff back.
They're constantly taking stuff. Like they took Thrawn from the old books and they put him in the show
Rebels.
In
Rebels, which is awesome.
And there's a Thrawn book now.
Yep.
We're going all
nerd on you.
That's fine.
I'm wearing a Tyrell Corporation shirt, but you guys know about books from Star Wars, bunch of freaking nerds.
But me and Matt both enjoy the Battle in the Snow, where Rey and Kylo finally have their lightsaber fight. Such a cool. I just like the setting. First of all, the film, the scene,
and it was
all.
Did you know it was practical effects too? It wasn't blue screen.
Oh,
yeah.
They built that in a soundstage.
Yeah, built that. As like when Kylo shows up, he's like, "We're not done yet." He even says "traitor" to Finn.
Well, I noticed this throughout the whole movie, though, Matt. Is much of there's a lot of huge sets in this film.
Yeah, that's true. Big time. Yeah.
So this thing looks great. The glow.
Well,
they
had to make it from 1983 and try and make it look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love the use of practical effects in this movie. It's like even looks so much different than the prequels. Like, it just basically tells you, like, Star Wars is back.
It's in a lived-in universe where people are actually, interacting with things.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not this cold, just weird thing. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a very intense moment where, he takes out Finn, he, throws Rey against it, and then he's trying to get the lightsaber out of the snow. It's wiggling, and then at first, when I first saw that stuff, I thought it was going to be Luke. I was like, this is where we're going to see Luke finally.
Really?
We haven't seen Luke at all. It's
we know they're looking for him.
When you're first seeing this, it's like, where's Luke? Are they ever going to show Luke?
So do we know, because I don't remember, did we know he was going to be in this movie? We just didn't know when?
Yeah, we knew Mark Hamill was going to be in it. So it was definitely a waiting game. So it's like,
we're like
he?
2 hours in now.
Yeah, they really, and then the lightsaber's shaking, and I'm like, and then it's Rey. So, but I was like, all right.
That was when I was just ready to stand out of my chair, and be like,
I love the motions. Like, she's like, even J.J. Abrams brought this up before the film came out, that it was going to be more just like attacks rather than just like choreographed like lightsaber fight like the prequels were, like flips and stuff. Like, it was more just like in your face, just like just raw, just like which I thought was cool. It's just her like stabbing motion kind of
how
seemed
a
like
real
Palpatine.
fight would happen.
Yeah. But yeah, I just love this emotion. Great moment with them. Looks cool. And if you like the character of Rey, it brings her, powers to fruition, and it just is everything's cool about it.
Yeah, it looks great.
All right, so that basically leads to the final one in our pick six. Pick six! It's time. We still haven't seen Luke. Again, like I said, I thought Luke was going to show up in the snow battle, but he didn't. But Rey, she goes off with Chewbacca and the Millennium Falcon, after things have wrapped up, Leia, confronts embraces Rey after that whole battle, everything like that.
You're looking at your watch, being like, "Where's Luke?" Right?
Yeah, exactly. She even kisses Finn on the forehead. I think it says, "We'll see each other again." I believe that, which is a cute little moment. Then she goes off, and then she's on this like island planet, which Kylo Ren had said, previously that. I see when he was looking into her mind, I see an island. Yeah. So it's a foreshadowing of what she does find, and and then this is my favorite score in this whole movie, and it's definitely moving up in my whole score in this whole Star Wars saga. Is just her crawling up the stairs, the build up of the music of her coming up the stairs. She's coming up the stairs. Yeah. And just keeps going great. Up, and we're just building. Like, what's going on? What's she gonna find? What's she gonna find? And then
we know, like, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's
it's like it's anticipation. It's not
exactly.
Like it's not like we know. We know. It's like okay, we're getting to it.
Right,
it's happening now, right? Like she's going.
We're all excited. We're all smiling.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's great. And so then she comes up and you see this figure standing there. He's in a cloak. He's something. It's like, it's got to be Luke, right? It's got to be Luke. We know it's Luke. We know. And then the music, I don't know, just the music is just going perfect with he slowly turns around and it's Luke. And it's first he kind of looks like a little
he's grizzled.
Grizzled.
He pulls it. He looks awesome, right? He looks so cool.
Yeah, bearded Luke.
It suits him so well.
And I love that it had the robotic hand. Yeah. Like, it's got like the fake skin is kind of worn off.
Okay, is that what it was?
He's got the
worn off.
That's what I feel like.
No more glove.
Yeah, no more glove.
Oh yeah,
he's just down to the actual mechanics.
Yeah. He's like,
he's got that part machine in him, which is an echo of his father. Right, it's always going to be with him. And I mean, and I say this too. As much as I criticize Daisy Ridley and the writing of Rey, and I don't want to even go, I don't want to fight over it anymore, but
I don't want to fight, guys.
She's great in this scene. She is she's like her emotion is like, I've traveled so far just to give this thing to you. Like, I don't even understand it completely, but I'm here for you to deliver this to you for wherever this goes, like, please take it and help the world or help the universe, the galaxy, or whatever.
She never wanted to touch it again after her Force vision.
Yeah.
I mean, right then and there, she was just done with it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was great.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it's just because the build up with the music, and then yeah, she's handing him the lightsaber, and then he just like gives his look. You don't know what he's thinking.
No.
Like at first, it's like, oh, is he about to cry? Is he mad that she's there? Is he happy? Like you don't know. And then they like do that long shot of them.
Camera pans out and spins.
Spins, and you see the back of him in front of her, and then the build up of the music, and then the credits. The typical build up of music and credits with the typical Star Wars movies. Just chill.
I was just like on Big Bang Theory when they watched the Force Awakens. I was just like,
yeah. I don't know.
I was just in love
after
with
that
the
scene,
movie.
just because of the music. Because when he first sees the lightsaber, after he does it, you hear the Luke music.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 like that slow music. It's just brought an instant smile to my face. As soon as the credits hit, I just had the biggest smile on my face. I couldn't even move. I was just sitting in my chair.
Then it's
this
over.
Huge
It's like,
smile.
I was
like,
so
it's
happy.
like, yeah, Luke didn't say a word, but I thought that was the perfect ending. I love the way they ended that.
It was a great scene, and it set it up for The Last Jedi.
It set it up, and again, this is a movie to reintroduce Star Wars to people and introduce Star Wars to people to new generations. I thought it was just the perfect way to do it, and and to give hope for the future of Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
And not just give you, oh, here's Luke, here's Han, here's Leia, here's what they're gonna do. No, we're gonna hold on to Luke. We're gonna save him a little bit for the next movie. I just thought this is my favorite ending to a Star Wars movie ever.
Well, I agree. I mean, I've got a lot of problems with I got a lot of problems with the writing, the direction, the casting, and the acting. But I will say this thing it is Star Wars, right? I might not love it. I might not like the choices that are made and stuff like that, but it is undoubtedly Star Wars.
Right.
And this is not the prequel, right? J.J. Abrams, if nothing else, he gives you a genuine Star Wars product.
Yeah.
And that's, like you said, I mean, that brings it back, and we talked about it at the top. I mean, it basically sets it to go to infinity.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is basically his legacy here. Whatever he does for Episode 9, which we don't know what's going to happen here. But at least with that, I give credit. This is a genuine Star Wars movie. Well done, for that, achieving that. It's not easy. There's a lot of pressure there because it could have sucked. It could have. And it didn't. I mean, he did enough of bringing. He knew what Star Wars was all about and was able to execute. So I'm willing to, back off a bit and just say the things I don't like, but also realize, hey, I'm a Star Wars fan, and of course I enjoyed the movie.
Right.
Maybe I just wanted more of it, and I wanted things to go differently. And that's just me being a spoiled fan, and I'm nitpicking and complaining maybe more than I should. But that is what it is. That's my
exactly.
right. So,
exactly. No, I mean, I forget who said it, but it's like no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
Exactly.
You're always going to pick it apart. You're always going to have gripes about it. Again, we all talk crap about the prequels, but at the same time, we love them. We're glad we had them.
Absolutely.
And,
I don't. The prequels are not good movies, but I love all three of them. Even when we talk about how we take dumps on Attack of the Clones, but we still like it. Like I'd watch it again
Wars,
if it was on TV. I'd watch the whole thing probably.
Yeah, exactly.
And we probably and Ben I think alluded to this. We're at the end of our Star Wars. I keep talking here, but we're at the end of our Star Wars series. But we're gonna do the prequels at some point. We're gonna circle.
We got
to.
to. I mean, it's inevitable.
It has to happen.
Yep, exactly. But did any of you have any? Do you have any?
Thoughts on this, Matt? Because I went on
any more on the Luke scene or anything? Just no
perfection. I mean, I only have one word: perfection.
I dug it. Did you?
2, 3, 4, 5 beers.
Okay, I dug it. Did you?
I dug it completely.
Can't forget the Tullamore.
Yes, the Tullamore.
But
anyways, it was. It made me smile at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
I was so happy. The whole thing, even though we didn't know who Rey was, it just ended the movie perfectly. Mm-hmm. If that was the last Star Wars movie, that was the last Star Wars movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it was perfect. Just like Return of the Jedi ended perfectly. We had all the Force ghosts there. Everyone was happy.
Yep.
I could end with this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
I was seriously that happy.
And for our next segment, Who's the Idiot, Me or the Movie? Did you guys have any questions or anything you didn't get or anything like that?
I don't have any questions. I've got critiques, which I've gone over. If there's anything I wrote down a lot of critique here. Again, the General Hux, we get introduced to him. He stinks here. He's worse.
Stinks.
He's worse in The Last Jedi, but he's not good here. He's screaming. What's the First Order? Who are these people?
Yeah.
What is this army that he has?
Right, that's the problem. You have to read the books or the comics or...
I don't know. I guess they're evoking Nazi imagery here.
Right.
It's like over the top. Like,
Well, they didn't explain what the state of the galaxy was, how the government
we
ran
don't know
or
what's
anything.
going on. Yeah.
Again, they explain all that in Bloodline, which again, you shouldn't have to read that to know, what the state is. But I guess with my things with the Emperor and Snoke, as I said in the Last Jedi episode, was, we didn't. What do we really know about how the rebellion was built and the Empire was built? Things like that.
At least the Force Awakens ends with no questions about where the galaxy is, because they blow up the capital.
Yeah, they blow up the Republic.
Three or four planets at once.
Right.
Yeah.
So we know that there's nothing left. It's the First Order, the Resistance.
It's pretty amazing weapon too that they have. Yeah.
It's true. It's quadruple the size of the Death Star.
The only question I have is...
It's true. But I guess by the end, you're like, well, I guess these guys are...
You know where they are at the end of the movie.
Exactly.
The Republic was a thing that was...
Right.
On these planets, and all those people were killed. Yeah,
definitely.
Okay,
the only question I really had was the map to Luke. Like, why was it in pieces? Who gave?
Right.
Like,
who
did
did
Luke
this?
leave a map? Like, in case you guys need to find me, here's just a little piece of it. Do you guys?
I never understood that either.
Yeah.
Like, where did that thing lead? How did they know it? How did one droid have one map, and then this other droid had this little piece? I mean, BB-8 literally had just this little sliver that somehow
made sense to where he was. I don't quite get that.
Yeah.
Either.
Okay. Just wanted to see.
It was in the script.
Why would? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, let's just leave it alone.
Final thoughts and rating, Dave. How would you rate this film?
I don't have any final thoughts. I think I've said everything I want to say.
All the thoughts have been said.
But as a rating, I'm going to give it 2 stars. I don't.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna get.
I mean, that just
to be fair, he is a lower rater.
He has always said that he doesn't like this movie. So.
He gave Jedi 2.5.
Every
stars.
time I get on Twitter, I tell Dave, "You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong."
I love criticism. Keep telling me I'm wrong. That's right. I gave Return of the Jedi, a movie I absolutely love, 2.5 stars.
But if you look back at Return of the Jedi objectively, it's not that great of a movie.
It's got some problems,
right?
Yeah,
but the thing is, that was my number one movie as a kid.
Me too. Yeah, it was my favorite as a kid. But then I looked at it again, and I'm like, if I evaluate it critically, especially this was our
right.
If you listen to our last episode, Matt, if you could take the time out of your life to listen,
I did.
Well, we said was the first half hour is nonsense, but the last hour and 15 minutes is incredible of Jedi. So
Force Awakens.
But on that, but
Matt's like, let's wrap this up. I'm a guest, but let's wrap this up.
On this one, I got 2 stars and 3 buckets of popcorn.
What would you
it's
give
an entertaining movie. It's not a great movie, I don't think, quality-wise, but it does entertain me. It's a good Star Wars movie, and that's it.
What you got, Matt?
The Force Awakens.
Yeah, that's the movie.
I know exactly is what it did to me. It reawakened my love of Star Wars. If you don't know, I'm undefeated in Star Wars Trivial Pursuit.
I believe you.
I've never lost.
He's not going to doubt that.
But anyways, it reawakened it for me. So to me,
what is that? What is Star Wars Trivial Pursuit?
It's seriously, it's like an actual of the 1 through 6.
Oh wow.
Yes. So anyways.
It's my brother.
That's exactly it.
Did you bring that along with you on the trip? Because
I was tempted. I was very tempted, believe it or not.
Only a true Star Wars fan would bring that with him. On
Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back is 5 of 5. Yeah. This movie is 5 of 5.
Wow.
So 5 buckets of popcorn, 5
I
stars?
could watch this movie. This is one of my 5 movies on it.
I appreciate the passion.
Island.
I don't agree, but hey.
What? So is this your favorite Star Wars movie?
No.
So what's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Empire Strikes Back.
Well,
okay. So is that 5 of 5 too?
Oh yeah. But if I'm limited to 5,
you would take this, Empire, Groundhog Day.
What else? So that's right. Count of Monte Cristo.
Really?
I love the Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh wow.
I would love if you guys did an episode of that.
Okay.
Huh.
And Fifth movie would be Breaking Bad. It's not a movie, but it has to. I mean,
Breaking
I
Bad.
mean, if
70 hours
Yeah.
of television.
7 hours of television.
Well, it's
All
up.
right.
It's good.
Well, there
it's
you
quality.
go. There you go. All right. So 5 and 5. Wow. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I definitely. You were saying earlier about how your love for Star Wars kind of fizzled out just because it's
did.
like after the prequels, and this kind of reawakened it. I totally get what you're saying with that. But yeah, I mean, this movie again, love it. Everything. I actually give it 4 stars and 4 buckets of popcorn, so 4 and 4 out of 5. So that's my rating.
That's fine.
Is that okay? Is that okay?
You know, a lot. You know,
I mean, yours is wrong
Clearly.
automatically. So just by
It's Empire
majority
Strikes Back.
rules.
yeah.
Force Awakens.
Nope.
Uh-huh.
Nope.
No, I mean not for me. Yeah.
New Hope.
Right.
Rogue One.
Oh, he's all right.
I mean, I'm not agreeing. I'm just
Right.
listening.
Rogue
I
One.
mean, he's way off, but that's fine.
Okay. And then we've got Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones is definitely the worst.
Yeah.
Where does
It's
Last
the worst.
Jedi go?
Oh, crap.
Yeah, you gotta throw that in. That's number
Last
9.
Jedi is under Revenge of the Sith, above Phantom Menace
I
and
think,
Attack
that's,
of the
Okay.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
You can check out my ratings. I just posted them on Twitter. You can follow us on
But
Twitter.
I didn't.
We had a
At-
whole episode on these.
Yeah, in an episode. Listen to our other episodes at Blockbuster Cast. My personal account is at BCcord.
I'm at Dave_Quist.
Do you want people to know where you are?
I don't know what it is.
At MCcord? Or?
It's either MCcord83 or Matt Secord. One of the two.
Yeah, just look them up. But
Please harass him.
subscribe
ask him
to us.
trivia questions about Star Wars.
Subscribe to us on
master.
YouTube, comment, like, subscribe to us on iTunes, review.
There's got to be somebody out there who knows that this thing was a steaming pile, but you know.
Yeah, 2 stars isn't a steaming pile.
No,
for,
I know.
For your,
I'm exaggerating.
he's an
Send
exaggerator.
me your Mary Sue comments. I'd love to hear
All
more
right,
of them.
folks. Well, Matt, thanks so much for guesting these last 2 episodes. We appreciate you coming
No
on.
problem.
You can always
Anytime. Great to
call
have
in
Matt.
anytime you'd like. Maybe we'll do
Skype
Monte.
from Michigan.
We'll
maybe-
pretend you're
Monte Cristo.
Maybe we'll do Monte Cristo.
Have you ever seen
someday.
that movie?
Actually, I have not.
Oh my
Jim
god.
Caviezel, right?
Have you seen it?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, because I probably took you
Yeah.
to the movie.
Jim Caviezel. But
I'd be happy to do it.
It's really good.
we'll see.
Please Skype in. We'll ignore your call, and then we'll do our own.
Yeah, we'll do our own show. Hey. All right, folks. Well, that is it for us. For Matt Secord, for Davo, I'm Ben Secord. And as always, grab some popcorn, grab some snacks. We'll catch you guys
At the movies!
all right.